talk about what? It's an interesting topic. I don't know whether the world is ripe and ready for this, but I trust the only Holy Spirit can teach it through me briefly in a way that you will understand. Bible says all things work together for those who trust in the Lord. All things, meaning good and bad things, they all work together for those who trust in the divine intention of the cosmos, of the creative, love, intelligent universe. Life as one. Life is God, God is life. So life as God, God as life can never sabotage itself. And if that is true, then all things truly then work for the good of those who trust in the divine intention of this creative, love, intelligent universe you choose to call God. What I see is that evil is the gift or opportunity for the righteous, and the righteous run away from their gifts. In what other way can you have a sense of achievement if you've not gone through some restrictions, some resistance? So the evil is your opportunity. As I teach, tolerance is not your ability to endure wrongs done to you. Tolerance is your ability to expand the love you are to accommodate the wrong and be the corrected versions of the wrong that you see. A time comes, we call it death, when you will realize that nothing in this world is yours except what you are. What are you? When that time comes, your wife and children are not yours. Your parents, your friends and colleagues are not yours. Your properties are not yours. Nothing is yours. In fact, your handsome, beautiful body is not yours. Nothing whatsoever is yours except what you are. What are you? At least we all know that we are spirit. What are your spiritual qualities? Those are the only thing you will have. So a person says, see this 100 acres, it is my property, it is mine. When that time comes, he's dead and he's buried on the land. I own this land. And now you die and you are buried in the land. Who owns who? So in life, the only thing you have are your inner resources. They are those you can take with you. They are those that create what you call your heaven or your hell. So the wrongdoer gives me the opportunity to expand one of my resources called tolerance. If I run away from the wrongdoer, how can I expand my love ability of tolerance? Hence, Yeshua taught us the technique in Matthew 5, 44, 43 to 46. He said, ye have heard it's been said unto you, love your neighbors and hate your enemies. But I say, love your enemies. In loving the enemy, you are challenging you to expand your love capacity till you become an embodiment of love. When you are the light of love, so-called evil cannot walk into the light. No darkness can walk into light, but the light can walk into the darkness. I'm talking of the terrestrial plane here. So what do you see? Evil is a gift for the righteous. In whatever way you call it, anger, hatred, fear, jealousy, they hated me, they misused me. Life does not care. Your responses to this will reduce you or enlarge you.
Sure.
If you allow it to reduce you, you have become the righteous who has run away from his or her gift. When you allow it to enlarge you, you become the righteous who become great because you embraced your gift. Yeshua said, love your enemies, pray for those who hate you, and bless those who despitefully use you and persecute you, so that you will be children of your Father, because in so doing, you are acting the vibrations of God. Because Let my heart be broken by the things that break the heart of God. If it cannot break the heart of God, let it not break my heart. But to many people, the wrongs are happening, and then you go to church, and I see you binding the enemy. How do you do it? You are using anger, hatred, fear. You can't bind your enemy smiling. You are in anger, hatred, fear. You bind them and stamping. You are reducing your spiritual frequency. You should say, bless the enemy, and you are cursing the enemy. In blessing the enemy, you're becoming bigger than the enemy.
Right.
So the enemy is your opportunity, your gift. The cloud is the necessary resistance for the light to break out the spectrum of its colors. The pains, the confusions, the hatred, the bitterness against you are your necessary opportunities to break out the next dimension of your God expression. I believe this will make it easy for everyone. So evil is your opportunity, isn't it?
That's right.
The glory of evil. When they hate you, it's your opportunity. No one kicks a dead dog. They will hate you if you are somebody, or if they see you evolve into some greatness. Don't expect to have everybody following you. When your wisdom is high, they will run away from you. Yes, but that's your opportunity. Not to run, but to embrace. And Yeshua himself demonstrated it. Check Yeshua. Then they came to him. This woman was caught committing adultery, and we brought him to you. By the Jewish law, they must bring the adulterer to a rabbi to pronounce her guilty by the laws of Moses. Then she was stoned to death. Yeshua, on the other side, rather started writing on the ground and said, anyone here without sin, let him cast the first stone. Many people read this and they don't get the whole picture. You see, in Jewish law, if you say you are without sin, you must be stoned to death. So he used their law that if you are anyone here is without sin, cast the first stone. Then everybody started dropping their stones, because if you cast a stone, you are saying you are without sin. The rest must stone you. So that's how they left her alone. It wasn't anything magical. And then what did Yeshua say? Neither do I condemn you. In other words, I'm also not without sin. So I have no right to cast stone at you.
Oof.
We read and we don't read into what we are reading. Neither do I condemn you. Anyone without sin, cast the stone. And when no one has cast, yes, where are they? Has no one condemned you? Okay. In other words, they are all with sin. Okay. Neither do I also condemn you. In other words, I'm also not without sin.
But they say that we was tempted in every way yet without sin.
Please, who said so? Did he ever himself say so? Ishmael never ever said he was going to die to save anyone, did he? Read your Bible. And we have made him Savior, he's died to save, and so on. He never ever said this. So whoever comes after me, let him deny himself, take up his own cross daily, and follow me. How do you follow him? This non-judgmental spirit of Yeshua, he's seen evil, but beyond the evil of the adulterer, he could see the divine.
That's right.
And they brought the adulterer alone. Did she commit adultery with herself? No. Okay, so that's lesson 1. Lesson 2. What did he say to the man who promised to save him? Peter the fisherman. When Yeshua spoke about his death, he said, no one dared does it to you, my master. I will defend you. What was his response? Get thee behind me, Satan. You are an offense to the spirit, for you savoureth not the things of the spirit, but of the flesh. You see, the Christ consciousness, the consciousness that does not see an enemy I must run away from. You are suggesting to my mind that I have enemy that you have to defend me from. He has said earlier that upon you, Peter, I will build my church. How could he be Satan? The suggestion coming from him is to make him look at himself from the place of the flesh. So he said, get thee behind me, Satan. For thou servest not the things of the spirit. When spirit is immortal, eternal, limitless, and infinite, how can I, as spirit, worry about who is coming to attack me? Capture that spirit here. So, what do you see here? He's using evil as what? His opportunity to express. He reminded himself of his spiritual, immortal, eternal self. He has used evil as an opportunity. Let me fast forward to getting money. So in getting money, they've come to arrest him for him to be killed. The centurion's sons was among them. And when Peter fulfilled his promise by cutting the ear of the centurion's son, you don't defend your master by cutting ears, you cut head. He wasn't a swordsman, he was a fisherman. Maybe he might have thrown the sword like a fisherman and he missed the head. At least he got the ear. All right? Israel should have asked the followers now to rally to defend.
Yeah.
Rather, he rebuked Peter. Put away the sword into its place, for those who take the sword shall perish with the sword. And then, in this state of panic, any human being in this state must be in panic, because they are there to arrest you to be killed. And you know it. But he had the serenity to be in love, to touch the ear and heal it. And I know when I do healing, that the power that heals is when I can connect me to the universal frequency of love. And for him to do that, be able to be in loving space in the face of enemy, he wasn't cursing the enemies. He wasn't fighting them. Because the Christ spirit does not see an enemy. What was the mission of the man whose ear had been cut? His mission was to have him arrested. Instead of rejoicing that he was wounded, you are feeling empathy to heal him.
Sure.
Sometimes I want to paraphrase the story. So imagine that you've been caught in the forest by armed robbers. They want to sodomize you and then kill you and then rob you. However, you saw one of them wounded, so you took your first aid kit to heal the wound, bandage it, before he sodomizes you and then robs you and then kills you. That will make you understand what Yeshua faced. And for him to remain serene, love your enemies, bless those who curse you. He was in love place, blessing, releasing the energy of love to these who are there to hurt him. His is to heal them. So didn't he demonstrate it? So you see the glory of evil here. Then on the cross, Father, forgive them, they don't know what they do. We take it for granted. So I don't care whether he healed the sick and raised the dead. Those he healed and raised are dead. He walked on water. A ship with 50,000 tons of cargo floats on the ocean. That means nothing to me. What did he say we should do and how did he demonstrate it? Every human being, when you are hurt, you react. And reaction usually means you are reacting the wrong you have seen. So we always react by cursing and shouting and screaming. But in the place of pain, every human being reacts against the enemy when they are in pain. For him to be able to love when he was in pain, he did not react, he responded from his nature.
Sure.
The nature of love. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they do. Those killing him were the professors of the day. And to describe them as people who don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Wow. So you could see Yeshua as love with the adulterous woman, seeing nothing but the divine in the adulterous woman. Peter, take this suggestion away from me. In getting money, no enemy here. There's only love here. There's only one of me. There's only one of me in everyone here. There's only one of me. Love does not see an enemy. So he said, love your enemy. Bless those who curse you. They are there to kill him, and he was blessing them. And even when they have succeeded, so to say, all right, even if we go back one step, I like it when Pilate told him, can't you speak and defend yourself? You don't have the power to kill you, power to set you free. He said, no. All along, he's never defended anything. And when Pilate boasted of power, Yeshua spoke for the first time. He said, thou hast no power at all against me, except it were given to you from above. That has no power at all. It means you have no small power. You don't have big power. You don't have medium size. You don't have anyone at all. Except it's given to you from where? Above. So whatever you are doing to me, Pilate, is from the divine.
That's right.
I'm receiving whatever you are doing as a divine blessings for me. Released to be killed, he knows it's the work of the divine. If we can have this Christ vision and this Christ attitude and relationship with life, wouldn't we have peace on the planet?
Of course we would.
That's why I follow Jesus. In fact, I follow him by his name, Yeshua, his real name. But I don't follow the church, because the church has lost out on this teaching. And today, when even the traditional churches realized that they were losing membership, they've also started casting out their enemies and binding, doing all night and binding their enemies. A deviation from the Christ teaching of love. Love your enemies. You have heard it's been said unto you this, but I say. A pastor once asked me that, did Jesus really mean this? You're coming to do a wedding in our church because the woman was marrying a man of an Etherean, but their church was very small, so they asked if they can do the church service in our church. I said, but why not? It's the same one presence. But we asked them for just one thing, that, do you bind your enemies? He said, yes. I said, would you do us a favor that when you come to our space, instead of binding them, you call upon the love of God to bless them? They argued if that is also their faith and belief. We said, okay, we won't stop you. You can still do it. But we want to follow Yeshua, because he said, love your enemies. I was surprised when the senior pastor and his assistant both asked me, is this in the Bible?
Shocks.
I was there with my disciples too. They were all like, what? And when we read it, we opened it and they read it. He said, does Jesus really mean that you must bless the enemy, curse those who, bless those who curse you? Does he really mean it? I said, well, he went on further to say, so that you be children of your Father.
Right.
And then he went on further to say, what profit is there if you love those who love you? That's a huge teaching. If you love those who love you, then you are useless. If you love the good, you are useless. If you love the evil, you are expanding. So you see the glory of evil. What good is there if you just love those who love you, greet those who greet you? But when you take the position, your Christ spirit, that can love those who give you pain, and when you run out of steam and you can't love them, do what he taught by evoking love. Thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom, O God, come. Thy kingdom of love. The kingdom of love as it is expressed in the great Yeshua. When he met with adulterous woman, now come in and through me. Your kingdom of love that expressed in Yeshua, when he received the suggestion from Peter for him to be defended. Let that kingdom of love come through me now. That your kingdom of love in Gethsemane, the kingdom of love in Yeshua, that courageous love, you evoke it. So in my book, we call the salvation message of Jesus. Did you get that one too?
I don't think I have the one.
The salvation message of Jesus shows you how to go through these steps to embody Jesus. It's one of the high teachings I teach. So you meditate on it and then you embody it. It's a 4-step process. It's all in a small book. So you practice as a Christian, practice and embody it. To me, Christian, to me mean Christian, following the Christ teaching of Yeshua and practicing it. So not those who say Lord, Lord, but those who do. So in the Etherean Mission, we do. Not praise the Lord, hallelujah.
Dogmas.
His words were very clear. He said, not those who say Lord, Lord, but those who do the will of the Father.
What is the will of the Father?
And when they asked him the will of the Father, he said, you shall love God with all of your heart, all of your might, and your neighbor as yourself. When they asked him who is the neighbor, he pointed to the Good Samaritan, teaching Jews to love the Samaritans who were their arch enemies as themselves. And he didn't finish there. He demonstrated it by going to the soul of the Samaritan, because a well in a desert place is the soul of the people. It's what gives them life. And spoke with a woman, a likely prostitute, an abomination. To go to the land of Samaria was an abomination. But their wells, higher abomination. Speak to that type of woman, triple abomination. And Yeshua demonstrated this oneness. Asking Ethereans, can you go to the mosque if you are invited? We have no problem. It's the very ground of God. The earth is the Lord's in the fullness thereof.
Of course.
So where can I not stand? All right? Muslims have equally also missed the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him. So when I go there too, I teach them from the Quran.
Because I listened to the session I think you done a short video during the last. I think was it the last Ramadan?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I listened to it.
Oh, you've been following very close for a long time.
Yeah, just just
Yes.
tiptoeing in the background.
So Muslims, when I teach them the essence of the Quran, the highest teaching of the Quran, they all wake up and they wonder, are you a Muslim? I say, what does Muslim mean? It means surrender.
It's a peace.
And Islam means peace. And Muslim means surrender. So surrendering to the peace frequency of God. Are you doing it? When you come to the awareness that Allah doesn't exist, that Allah is existence itself,
That's right.
then everybody I'm meeting is an extension of the existence of the Allah that is my life. You will not hurt anyone.
That's right.
So what's happening has nothing to do with, to me, Islam. Human selfishness playing its role. And take me to Hinduism, I'll teach you from there. Because there's only one. And you are not wise when you condemn people from outside. There are things in Quran that I do not agree with. And there are things in the Bible I don't agree with. There are things in the Upanishads I don't agree with. To me, I agree with anything that can be proven to be in harmony with nature. Because nature is the truest teacher. So, have you gotten the teaching of
course.
the glory of evil?
It does make more sense than what we have taught over the years.
So even when you come across evil forces, we are all spirit beings, and some spirit beings have more ability to do evil than others. The same way as thieves, some are more expert than others. There are some thieves, no matter what iron bars you have here, they can break through and come in. There are similarly very high level spirit beings who also have mastered several ways of doing evil, right? But all of them, same practice. No amount of darkness can penetrate into the light. And you are vibrating this energy of the light, you simply tell that darkness, move, and it moves. You shine, and it simply moves. When you watch my documentary on EthereanMission.com, right, you will find some things that I've done with some forces in the world and how we handle them with great ease and love. And we bless them to their next level of evolution. So we don't fight evil spirits even when we find in them. We rather bless them so that they can evolve, they can also wake up. There are entities right now here, I can tell you, we have more than maybe a millions other folks listening, eavesdropping right now. And this conversation is an energy that is being released to the atmosphere right now, and they are learning, right? So not all souls who are not in the body are okay. So many are not in the body, and they are also not enlightened. So we have to enlighten the whole spiritual atmosphere. So we are releasing this.
Wow.
Thank you.
If you happen to be listening to this, this has been Brother Ishmael Tetteh, the founder of Etherean Mission International. And if you want any further explanations, or if you've got any questions, please feel free to connect. And I'm on the website, Etherean Mission International, and you can also connect with myself.
Connect with you, yes.
Yes, just connect with myself, and I'll be more than happy to throw some more light on some of these things we've shared. Shalom and life to you. Bye bye.